Have you ever really tried, not to think about something? Maybe it was a painful memory, a fear, or just an annoying, unwanted thought. And the more you try to push it away, the stronger it came back. That's because trying not to think about something is like trying to hold on to smoke. The more you grab at it, the more it slips through your fingers. This experience reveals something profound about how we live our lives, especially when it comes to dissatisfaction and the constant pursuit of happiness. Now imagine stepping into a room full of balloons. Each balloon represents a difficult emotion: sadness, anxiety, anger, boredom. You walk in with the goal of clearing the room. You begin pushing the balloons away one by one. But as you push one, another floats into your path. The more you try to remove them, the more they surround you. This is exactly what happens when we fight our emotions. The more we try to eliminate discomfort, the more it multiplies. The harder we chase peace and happiness, the further they seem to drift. This is the essence of the backwards law, a concept introduced by philosopher Alan Watts. It states, the more you pursue feeling better all the time, the less satisfied you become, as pursuing something only reinforces the fact that you lack it. It sounds strange, right? But let's take a simple example. Trying to fall asleep. The more you focus on needing to sleep, the more anxious and awake you become. You can't try to sleep. You can only let it happen. Now imagine someone chasing happiness with the same intensity, reading every self-help book, watching countless motivational videos, trying dozens of techniques, and yet all of it only reinforces the painful truth: they're still not happy. Sometimes, the problem isn't that we haven't found what we're looking for. It's that the way we're looking is the very thing preventing us from finding it. We live in a world that teaches us to chase goals, to want more, to be more. But how often do we stop and ask, do I even know what I truly want? Alan Watts once posed a powerful question: why don't you know what you want? And his answer was unsettling, because either you already have it or you never truly knew yourself to begin with. Let that sink in. Maybe we're chasing desires that don't belong to us. Maybe the things we're running toward are just echoes of what society expects us to want. Take someone who dreams of being rich. On the surface, they say it's for freedom. But deep down, what they truly crave is security or a sense of worth. And money becomes just a symbol, a placeholder for something they don't know how to name. Or think of someone who longs for love. They bend themselves, change themselves, mold themselves just to be accepted. But are they really longing for a person? Or are they desperately seeking self-acceptance? Sometimes, our goals are masks. Behind the desire for success, love, or approval, there's a deeper yearning. To be seen, to be whole, to be enough. And even when we do get what we want, it often doesn't feel like we thought it would. The new car loses its charm. The dream job becomes routine. The perfect relationship reveals its challenges. We reach the peak, only to see another mountain waiting. This is what philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer meant when he said, "No fulfilled desire can bring lasting satisfaction. Because the moment one desire is met, another quickly takes its place. The pleasure is fleeting, and the chase begins again." Picture someone who spends 10 years building their own business, believing that success will finally bring peace. But when they get there, they're overwhelmed with stress, pressure, and new expectations. The dream becomes another form of captivity. Happiness becomes a moving target, always in the future, never here. But maybe happiness isn't something we find out there. Maybe it's something we uncover when we stop running. So, why do we keep running? Because we've been conditioned to believe that external change will fix internal pain. that if we just change our job, our partner, our body, our income, we'll finally feel better. But the truth is, the more we depend on external solutions, the more disconnected we become from our inner peace. Think of someone who believes they'll only be happy once they have $1 million. Every day, their mind says, "Not yet, you're not there yet." And no matter how much progress they make, it always feels like they're falling short. This constant comparison creates a deep emotional gap, and the bigger that gap grows, the more painful life becomes. Friedrich Nietzsche warned us, "He who fights with monsters should take care lest he thereby become a monster." In chasing a goal obsessively, we risk becoming the very thing we feared. Our identity becomes wrapped up in what we don't have, and in the process, we lose ourselves. Schopenhauer took it one step further. He believed that human beings are driven by a blind, irrational force he called the will to live. This will is never satisfied. It's a constant hunger, and that hunger is the root of suffering. Every time we fulfill a desire, the satisfaction fades, and a new craving arises, and another, until we begin to ask, is there ever a true end to wanting? According to Schopenhauer, the only real peace comes not from achieving more, but from releasing the need to achieve, from quieting the will, from stepping off the treadmill altogether. Imagine someone who has spent years proving themselves to others, chasing applause, approval, admiration, and then one day they stop, not because they gave up, but because they woke up. They realize, I don't need to prove anything anymore. I just need to be. This leads us to the most overlooked yet powerful practice of all, acceptance. Now, I don't mean resignation or giving up. I mean a deep, mindful surrender to what is, instead of constantly reaching for what should be. Acceptance is not passive. It's courageous. It means sitting with your fear, your flaws, your uncertainty, and choosing to stay present anyway. Lao Tzu once said, "Accept imperfection, and you will feel perfect. Accept solitude, and you will feel whole." Real happiness doesn't come from polishing every rough edge of your life. It comes from realizing that those rough edges are what make you real. Imagine someone who has spent years trying to fix themselves, their appearance, their past, their identity. And one day, they simply stop fighting. They look in the mirror and say, "I'm not broken. I'm just human." And in that moment, something shifts. That's not failure. That's freedom. So what does the backwards law really teach us? That when we stop trying so hard to be happy, happiness begins to emerge on its own. When we stop trying to control everything, peace begins to enter. And when we let go of the chase, we finally start to arrive. Letting go isn't the end of the journey. It's the beginning of finally being here. So let me leave you with this question. What if the secret to having everything is letting go of needing anything? What if the happiness you've been searching for has been waiting for you all along, quietly, in the present moment? If this message resonated with you, if you felt a spark of truth in these words, subscribe to The Healing Vibe. We explore the wisdom hidden beneath the surface of everyday life. And if you're ready to stop chasing and start living, you're in the right place. Subscribe for more clarity. Subscribe for more peace. Subscribe for more healing. This is The Healing Vibe. Welcome home.